Inspiration for my dishes really, as I say, was from classical training, my mum's table, my grandmother's table, classical French cookery. After that, it's pretty much what Mother Nature has to offer. I'll work with what she gives me, and she's a true artist. I'm just another vessel to transport it to her plate. Hi, I'm Charlie Lakin. I'm chef proprietor at Meraki Restaurant, soon to be opened here in Hillcrest. My style of cooking, it's what's around me. It's what the area's got to offer. I don't do that through trend or fashion or anything else like that. It's just the way I've been brought up. Born and bred Yorkshire lad, born right on the edge of North York Moors, farmer's son. I had the fairy tale upbringing, I suppose, in some ways to the catering industry. Go out picking dandelions to making wine and bilberries off the moor's top for jam and such like as that. My old man used to have a big veg patch down the garden, which I was often found nicking peas and podding them in the middle of the garden, or going down with a bag of sugar and breaking off sticks of rhubarb and just eating rhubarb straight from the plant. I think I have a deep connection to Mother Nature. I've always loved food, I've always loved cooking. When my kid brothers were learning to drive, on the farm, they'd jump in the tractors, learn to drive, things like that. I was busy hunting mushrooms on the edge of the fields, or I'd be busy with my mum in the kitchen. So I never really took to all of them typical lad things. I was always more fascinated with the food and being outside in the gardens and such like as that. My grandmother Lakin, she was an extremely passionate cook. Very passionate cook. I spent a lot of time with her when I was growing up. We'd do the baking on a Sunday. She was an elderly lady who struggled to walk. So I used to go down when I was still only 8 or 9 years old and help her do things like the family Christmas cakes, the family tradition of the whole Christmas pudding, the baking, bits and pieces like that. So they're sort of fond memories of my grandmother, but definitely the making of the Christmas puddings, the big old table in the middle of the kitchen. And after doing things like Great British Menu, having the Michelin Rising Star, the 3 rosettes, I was pretty much getting burnt out, never seeing my family, so we thought, hell, why not? Let's up sticks. Let's give KZN a try. Let's give Durban a blast and see what happens there. Kent, do you know, it's funny when I would say about the story of Kent, because actually when I lived from Yorkshire with my wife when we first got married, I was trying to find a job in Cornwall, but when a job's come up in Cornwall, there's never anything going. One head chef's job, I'll have 50 applicants, so I ended up in Kent. It was the only spot I could get a job down the south coast, to be honest. Different place, but for me it felt like home. It felt like Yorkshire, very much about community-based. Same as what I find with Hillcrest, to be honest. Small town, and it's all about the locals here, really. Everyone's supportive of one another. I think that's definitely sort of the thing that you get from the fields of the shops, especially shops like the Hillcrest Quick Spa, who stock everything through the times. There's been occasions through some of the hardships we've had over the last couple of years where they've definitely been one of the pillars of the community, which again just sings what Hillcrest is about. It's a community-led area, and I just hope that what I'm doing here at Meraki can add another layer to that community. So my wife, how we ended up in South Africa actually is I met my amazing wife Paula. It's what's coming out. Sorry, stressed about her in a minute. She's doing a fucking hell of a lot of work, and how she keeps me going I don't actually know. She's my superwoman, hence why we moved to South Africa. She was carrying the family very much. I was living in the kitchen. I was clocking over 100 hours a week, and my wife was bringing up 2 kids on her own, as well as working full time, and something had to give. So we moved up 6 and moved to South Africa. So for me, when I look at the style of cooking that I do, it's not really, like I say, not following a fashion, not following a trend, it's just what I do. I forage, I use local ingredients. I rely a lot on my local producers. I struggle to write menus in advance. I'm very much an intuitive chef. So for me, I really wait until I got the ingredients, and I wait for my suppliers to tell me what the best of the local produce is. And then I let the ingredients speak to me. A lot of people probably find it quite a chaotic way of doing things. For myself, I find it's the best way I can do it, and it's what sings to me when I'm creating plates of food. Obviously as well, sometimes it can be quite entertaining when you suddenly come up with an idea at 3 o'clock in the morning and you suddenly need an ingredient. So I'm quite lucky to have a shop like the Hillcrest Quick Spa where I can dive in at 4:45, go and get my little random bits and bobs of ingredients, great butters, local creams, local cheeses, things like that when I want to just add them to finished dishes. The whole ethos behind Meraki, the Meraki itself, it means to do things with passion, love and creativity. I like to keep everything very personal, doing it myself as much as I can. We do everything pretty much in here, from baking breads, making all my own chutneys, pickles. Yeah, I feel like what we serve is personal. The food on the plate pretty much screams big daft Yorkshireman at you, to be honest. It's full of flavour, full of life. Hopefully leaves you fully satisfied. I have to admit, I feel too many chefs actually do take too much concentration on plating. They're too obsessed with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and blowing their own egos up, to be perfectly honest, with constant photos. For me in the restaurant, I actually want to keep the shots of food down to a minimum, because when you went out for a meal, you didn't know what your food was going to look like on your plate. And that's something I really want to kind of bring back here, is that wow factor, I suppose, to coin a cheesy phrase. But the excitement of when a plate of food gets put in front of you, because you don't know what it's going to look like. It's the first time you've seen it. And if you're going to do something different or something a little bit quirky, it's nice when they actually get to see it for the first time, or rather than already anticipating it and knowing about it, because for me then that factor's been lost. But for me, the taste is always the most important thing. For me, some of the best dishes I've ever eaten have literally been served in a casserole pot. I feel like in the modern day of catering and chefing, chefs are too quick to worry about a plate of food and not actually spend enough time concentrating on flavours, textures, smells, all of them nice sort of bits that, yeah, we kind of lose. So when I cook a dish for the first time, I'm always nervous, especially now. It's quite interesting. We're having a chef's table and then people are actually literally eating straight in front of you. It's that first moment when you see the cut into the plate and you're suddenly thinking, oh, that's going to be, you know, like, if they don't give you the face you want straight away, it can get a little bit nerve-wracking and you think to yourself, are they enjoying it? Aren't they enjoying it? But I would say 99% of the time I get thumbs up on it. My eldest daughter, we love to get in the kitchen and cook together. She's fascinated with coffee and such like that. So now that we've got the restaurant, she's always up here on a Saturday morning begging to be on the coffee machine. And my youngest daughter, she likes to just meet customers, greet customers. She's not so into the food, to be honest, but she does love getting hold of a big knife and chopping stuff up. So, you know, she's always there for when it comes to the whacking of vegetables with a knife. But Mirabelle, my eldest daughter, she really does like to get stuck in and cook. They're both kind of taking an interest, Mirabelle definitely more than Jossie. And I suppose I should nurture it rather than actually turn her away from it, because at the end of the day, I love this industry. It's always been good to me. There's times where things are hard because food is personal. As a chef, it's very personal what you put on your plate, and it can be quite a grueling thing for your mental health at points. I don't think people are fully aware of actually the effort and care that gets put into proper cookery. You know, I don't mean just like your little chain establishments, but small businesses like we are, independent. It's passionate. It's, you put everything you have into that plate. I don't work 12 to 18 hours a day if I wasn't going to cook like that. So it is. And then, you know, on top of that, I'm just so blessed to have an amazing wife. I think for me, what has been one of the most amazing times was meeting Richard Haigh and Eleni Farm. He's probably become my food hero. He has an outstanding little place which grows so many different varieties of vegetables. He has all different sorts of animals. You know, I'm so excited to actually start working with Richard again now with this restaurant here at Meraki. But I suppose in some ways the best award for me would be having a full dining room every single night of happy customers enjoying the food that I cook for them. That to me would be the best award I could possibly get. That and my family being happy.